Here are two cute and easy monster cookies.
Let's see what's cooking. Let's get the facts. Let's see what's cooking. It's time for Yo-Yo Max 12.
Hello everyone. The first one I'm going to show you has a brownie cookie as a base. I'm showing you a half recipe on screen. The full recipe will be in the description box. That is 2 ounces of semi-sweet chocolate that I melted in the microwave. Then in a large bowl, you place 1 stick of salted butter, 1 cup of granulated sugar, and cream those things together until they are light and fluffy. Now you'll add an egg and a teaspoon of vanilla extract, and then just beat that in. Now we'll add the melted chocolate into the bowl. Just make sure the melted chocolate has had a chance to cool a little bit. Then blend that in. Once that's blended in, add in the dry ingredients. That's a half a teaspoon of baking powder, 2.5 tablespoons of cocoa powder, unsweetened, and 1 cup plus 1/8 of a cup of all-purpose flour, and then blend that in, and that's your cookie batter. Then you'll take scoops of it and you'll put it on a cookie sheet. Make sure you leave lots of space between them because they will spread a little bit. Then you're going to bake them at 350 degrees for about 15 minutes or so until they feel set. When you touch them, then you take them out of the oven, let them cool. Now here they are out of the oven and cooled. You can see a flat spot on one of the cookies. That's where they were kind of touching each other on the cookie sheet. These cookies are delicious. They have a great brownie flavor. They're kind of chewy and fudgy in the middle. And they look burnt here, but they're not. It's just they're very, very like a dark chocolate color to them. Then I whipped up a batch of buttercream frosting, put some on the bottom of one cookie, and then just lined up a bunch of white chocolate chips along one edge for bottom teeth. You can use whatever kind of chips you want for this, like butterscotch or peanut butter if you want. And then take the other cookie, put a little bit more frosting, drop the cookie, pick it up. You don't have to do that part. Then you're going to add more chips to the edge of that top cookie for the top teeth. And then just lightly rest it on top. Line up the teeth the way you like. Now for eyes, what I did is I put a little dollop of frosting on the top of the cookie just to hold the eyes. Now you can use marshmallows with a little black dot of edible marker for eyes if you want. You'll see that in the next section of this video. Or you can use candy eyes, and that's what I did here. It looks a little like an evil cookie monster, kind of, sort of. So I did purple, I did orange, and I actually did green as well. And those are ready to go. Now on to the second monster cookie. For these ones, I wanted kind of like a whoopie pie kind of texture to them. So I decided to whip up a batch of cake mix cookies because they're so easy to do. So that's a box of golden cake mix, 2 eggs, 1/3 of a cup of sour cream, and 1/3 of a cup of vegetable oil. And that's all there is to it. You just have to blend it together. So you'll get a pretty thick batter, but it's gonna be a little bit runnier than your normal cookie batter, but that's okay. So once the batter was done, I did 2 things. I put some in a whoopie pie pan, and you're seeing me do this here. It's a greased pan. I added a scoop in each one and then baked them at 350 degrees for about 15 minutes or so until a toothpick inserted in the center came out clean and it was kind of like light brown around the edges. And I also did some on a regular cookie sheet with scoops right on the cookie sheet. And I'll show you in a little bit how those turned out. Now for the color and what's inside these cookies is just a glaze, a white sugar glaze. So that's icing sugar. I add a little bit of cream to it and then a little bit of food coloring, and I added just enough cream to get the texture that I wanted. You want something that's runny but not super, super liquidy. Now those are the whoopie pie ones I did in the pan. And I thought that they were way too thick, so I ended up slicing a piece off of each one to make them a little bit thinner. I did purple and black for these ones. And for the eyes, you take a mini marshmallow and using an edible marker, ink marker, you're just going to make a little black dot. Now you could use black frosting for that as well. Then you're going to put some of the frosting on one of the little whoopie pies, and then you're going to line up the marshmallows along the front as teeth, and then add a couple extras in the middle just to hold, just so that it's level and it holds the top piece. Then a little bit more glaze on the other one, and then you're going to just put one on top of the other, and that glaze should leak down on top of the marshmallow teeth. And then for the top, for the eyes, just a couple little dabs of that glaze, and it's okay if it runs off because that's what actually looks better that way. And then you add those little marshmallow eyes. And there it is, it's done. Now here are the cookies that I did on the cookie sheet, and these turned out much better. They have a nice flat bottom. They're not as thick as the whoopie pie ones in the pan, and they're still nice and soft inside. And I just did the same thing. These are the black ones that I did. Same thing, line up the marshmallows, a couple in the middle just to hold the cookie level, and then more glaze on the second one, and then just put it on top. And then you add the eyes, of course. And here they are, super easy. You can use whatever cookie you want. You could even use store-bought cookies for this method if you'd like. So I hope you give these a try. I have lots of monster-themed goodies on my Halloween playlist. So if you want to see more and are looking for more great ideas to try for your party, go ahead and click right on your screen. And thank you so much for watching.